guys, I'm Nikema Lee. I'm a florist and I like pop culture. I also love soap operas. So let's talk. Join me as we recap Beyond the Gates. Be sure to like, share, sign up for those notifications, and subscribe to this channel. Let's talk about flowers. Let's talk about flowers, y'all. First thing I noticed in this particular episode was a lot of indoor plants. Now, there's one plant, little fig tree over by the window in Nicole's office, right? And it had a little bit of a spotlight on it. So I'm going to use my imagination, open up my brain, and say that they had a UV light for the plant. Now, here's the thing. That plant is right next to the window. So technically, it doesn't need a light. Now, that's probably lighting for the sake of the show, just so that it can have some brightness in that corner and you can see that it's a plant. But I feel like using UV lights at night when a plant is in its natural cycle of sunrise, sunset, because they follow the same cycle as the planet, right? So if you have an artificial light where that plant, in a sense, never sleeps, could be a problem for the plant in the long term. Like, the plant is expending so much energy because it's never resting. So I would always say, if you're going to use a UV light, only use it because you don't have a natural light source in the particular area that you're in. So the plant never knows that the sun is out. So the only reason why you're using it is to give it six to 8 hours of sun. Outside of that, let that plant rest at night and don't put no UV light on it. The other thing is, if you look, she's got a beautiful window box flower, a flower window box right outside of the windows in her office. Now, I know what y'all thinking. How do people get these window boxes that look so pretty? Well, they're fake flowers, honey. They're silks, they're faux, they're artificial, whatever you want to call them, that's what they are. And that is your best bet. Use the artificial flowers for those because it's simple. You don't have to water it. You may have to wash them off as pollen and stuff accumulates on them, but they're an excellent way to get a very fresh look consistently. So get yourself a floral box. And if you're gonna get a floral box, go ahead and use the artificial flowers. Now, if you are the type of person that has the luxury to really take care of the flowers in your flower box, then get your perennials and let your thing do its thing. Now, to get a lot of hanging or creeping green plants, they're always pretty nice, but I say don't bypass all of that. Just go ahead and get you some fake flowers, some silk flowers, and put it in your flower box and enjoy your flowers. Now, the trick is changing them out as the seasons change and as the occasions change. And that means putting Easter baskets and Easter bunnies in there, putting pumpkins and making more foliage flowers in the winter. So there's a lot. Putting your Christmas lights, things like that. You utilize them as the seasons go by, right? Red, white, and blue for July, stuff like that. But you got it. That's what we want to do. Okay, I also want to talk about, I think I might be prejudiced. Here's the thing. I do feel like gay men need to have flowers in their house. It's not funny. I'm just saying. I feel like gay men should have flowers in their house. Not that I'm saying that gay men are more florally. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in my brain, I feel like gay men would have flowers in their house. And these two gay men don't have flowers. And they're very, Smitty comes off as the more softer part of the relationship. Not saying that he has to be soft, he has to have flowers and it represents flowers. But I just feel like there should be an arrangement or something in the corner. Martin should be bringing him flowers home or something. But they do have plants. They have a beautiful succulent plant that's over on the bookshelf in the back, right? Beautiful succulent plant. It's probably an artificial for the show. But a nice succulent, I feel like it's good. It's very low maintenance, not a lot of care required. Not a lot of sunlight required. They do have a window, so I'm assuming there's a good amount of natural sunlight that comes in during the day. So I say it's a good idea to have a plant. And the fact that it's so long tells me they've had that plant for a few years. So it's really good. They've got it up on the bookshelf. It's got a long, dramatic tail. So it's a great thing to have. Now, they do have another plant It is an artificial plant. It looks horrible on television because you can see the vein and the vining. Like their fake tree that's in front of Uptown, where Dana and I don't even know what to call it. Where Dana and Tim were talking, you could see there was a fake tree. I digress. But the plant, I feel like the succulent way back off camera, perfect to be artificial. But the plant that's actually in the shot, in the scene, could use to be an artificial plant. Now, I don't know if it's a budget thing where they don't want to pay somebody to come and dress the set every day. But I feel like if they're shooting, 2 or 3 episodes a week, maybe. I don't know what the shooting schedule is like, but I feel like there are certain spaces like that plant that is right there in the middle of the shot between Smitty and Martin when they're talking in the living room deserves a real plant. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And if at the end of the shoot day, somebody just takes that plant and sticks it in a grow room so it could get its sunlight, it could get its water, it could get its hydration, it could get all of the things, and then goes back into the set box because there's no light, there's no air, there's no nothing, right? I mean, there's air, obviously. But I feel like don't know how much that would cost to pay a person to be a on-set flower dresser, but if you're hiring, I got you. I feel like from a production standpoint, me having to compel a director or a producer or whoever, that it needs to be a real plant right there. Just like I talked about that orchid in the earlier episodes, the orchid that's in the Dupree's house, that just needs to be a real orchid. You can tell it's fake, and it looks fake. It doesn't look real, and we want as much realness in the room as possible. So I honestly think that it should be a real plant there. And you'll see it. When you see it, you'll see it. The last thing is the casino. Why do I think it needs some plants in the casino? Because it's an indoor space where people are drinking and talking, and I feel like there may be some cigar smoking going on in there. They need some air purifying plants. One, to just bring a little bit of brevity and life into the room so it doesn't look so despair. But even though that is the energy of the room, it's not supposed to be a place of hope. But you have to give your patrons a sense of hope. The people who are playing cards, they gotta look around and see that there's life in here, to see that there's possibility in here. That's how they keep playing. That's how you get them to keep coming back, is you give them this sense of hope and opportunity, and you take it away with your magical cards. Johnny, I'm just saying, quit playing with that man. Let that man live. But anyway, I digress. So those are my flower options. Listen, we are here. We are beyond the gates. We are loving the show. If you are following the show and you would like to comment and commentary, just go ahead and comment below. We are having a great time watching the show. And this is episode 23, Beyond the Gates. This is your girl, Nikema Lee. I love talking flowers and pop culture. All right, bye.